Okay guys, I got a 2012 Hyundai Sonata Turbo. It's the limited, so got the smart button, push button. I've got the MyKey Premium from MyKey. I don't know if anybody has really gotten one over here in the US, so I thought I'd try one out. It was $280 shipped to my door. It came in about 4 or 5 days. So here's what I got. I got a picture that I'll post with it too. All the functions seems to be the same with the lock and unlock on the fob. This is nice because you don't need a second fob like a lot of aftermarket remotes. I tried the Blue Link on this vehicle and it just never worked, so I thought I'd try something, and this seemed like a good option. It's a plug and play. So here's the module that I got sent. It's got a bunch of other plugs. I'm assuming that they probably pair them up so that you can do multiple different things with it. I'm not really sure, but this is the module. Those are the plugs. This is the passenger side of the vehicle, and if you go underneath, try to do the best I can here. It's dark, daylight savings, and we're into winter now. So there's the cover under the passenger there's a couple tabs that you just have to pull off. It's super easy. And then if you go underneath here and you look straight up, you'll see the smart key module right there. There's a 26 pin and there's like a 12 pin. We're only utilizing the 26 pin, but you could see here, you can try, is that's where basically you tap this module in between the smart key module, and then this is the one that was stock in the car. It plugs into the receiver, the female, and then comes all the way back to this box. So that's a super easy install. I'm gonna go over to the driver's side here, and I had so much trouble with this, but I'm just going to explain it. But basically, you need to tap. There's two lines that you need to tap there to the smart engine button. If you don't do that, then basically the car is going to attempt to try 3 times to start it, and it won't work. My assumption is that it doesn't think that the brake is being pressed in, so we're kind of tripping that. So what I had to do was I had to take off this piece of trim. I went underneath here, get a light there, and I took off this kind of undercover underneath the steering wheel portion, and then I took off this kind of triangular panel, and then the plug is actually up underneath into here, so I kind of had to jimmy myself underneath there to get to the connector. And then I'll post a picture here. I just went for now. I tried a wire tap, but I didn't quite have the right size. I didn't quite splice through. The wires are really, I'm not sure on the gauge, but the gauge is really really thin, and I was afraid that if I tried to do any cutting or tried to use the wire splicer, it might actually cut the wire, and I don't have time to deal with that right now. So I actually just used, as a member had suggested, just to test it before I did anything with the wires, was use a paper clip. So I'll post a picture actually of what I did with the paper clip. I just kind of tapped into, and that's what I have actually for my radar. I've actually got that as a wire tap into the smart mirror, so I didn't do anything with the wiring really. I just pinned it. I just buddy pinned it next to each other, and so I can always remove it, and I'm not tapping in any wires and creating any issues down the road. But I'll show you some of the functions here. So I'll close the door, and this is just using the fob, the original fob. So I'll close it here, and so I'm gonna lock it. This is just hitting the lock button once. You'll see it's locked. Now if I hit the button 2 times, I'm actually gonna move over here because this is where that smart button thing is. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see in the window, but I'm gonna hit it 2 times. Not quick, but with 1 second intervals. So I'll go 1, you'll hear it lock, 2, it's locked, and it's gonna blink 4 times. And then you'll see the little blue button push button turn on there, and then the car is going to start. So the car just started, just using the original fob. This is the smart key again. It beeped twice here so I could hear that, you know, it started. There also is there's a brown line that they put in there that if you want to, you can tap into the horn, so it'll honk twice when you activate it, and then once it does actually start, it'll honk twice more, so you know that it happens. One of the things that I maybe don't like about this, and I know that the issue with some of the Blue Link, is that it does flash its hazard every couple of seconds. So that was 1, 2, 3. So every about 5 seconds, it'll flash its hazards. But one good thing is that I didn't hit the lock button since it started, and it remains locked. I can't get in there. I have to actually physically have the fob with me and use either the hand push button lock if you have that, or use the key unlock. So I get in there. There's no way to shut it off with the fob, except you have to get in the vehicle, and I just push the start button. So I'm actually going to show, I'm going to start that up again just so you could see it, and then I'll actually, no, here, I'll do the, there's a turbo timer on it, so I'll start it, and then I'll do the turbo timer, and that lasts about 90 seconds, so I may just walk around the vehicle a little bit, and you'll see that the turbo timer will actually turn off, will turn the vehicle off automatically, so you get out of the vehicle. Let me do this here. Why don't I actually, I'll start the vehicle as if I was just driving. So I do still have to press the brake in when I start it the other way, but when you use the smart key, MyKey with the factory fob, you from outside the vehicle, they recommend not to do it inside the vehicle with the fob. So I haven't done that yet. I'm not really going to try it. But so say I just got home and I want to let that, I was riding that turbo really hard, so I just want to let it cool down, and so get out of the car. It's beeping at me like it normally does because I have the fob with me. I don't want to leave the fob in the vehicle running. So I'm going to press that button once. We'll see what happens here. It just locked on me. I did this once before last night, so it blinked on me, so I think that means that the turbo timer is going. So we'll go 1.5 minutes here, and we'll see what happens. But a couple of things I've done in the vehicle, I've actually got a Borla exhaust, quad tip. It's got a nice growl to it. It's just a catback. I like it doesn't have any drone or anything, which is nice. So it does look like when you're doing the turbo timer that the hazards do flash every 5 seconds or so. That's to let you know that, hey, it's going, it's activated. It doesn't give me really any beep or anything like that to know that the turbo timer was actually going. So we'll see what happens here, but we'll wait 1.5 minutes. I've got 67,000 miles on this vehicle. I've had it since about 38,000. I really haven't had any major issues with it. I did have the turbo line, fuel line, or oil line leak on me, which I got fixed right away. I've actually dropped the vehicle with the True Heart shocks and struts, and then put the arc lowering springs on it. So it rides really nice. The one thing I did notice is that when you do the defrost, oh, so there, it turned off. So then it locks itself again. It's blinking twice to let you know what, the vehicle's locked, it turned off, you can walk away from it, and you're good to go. So those are about the only functions that this MyKey Premium does. If you want to get the MyKey Pro, I think that's got a whole bunch of other wires, and I think that's what some of those other ports are, and it has many other functions. But that looks like you need to actually go through and tap into a whole bunch of wires and cut stuff, and I really didn't want to do that. So that's the MyKey Premium from MyKey. Like I said, it came shipped with EMS, and I think they sent it out on November 4th, and I got it yesterday, which was the 9th, and it was over the weekend, so it was really relatively quick. Kim, I think, is the one who I've been corresponding with. She's been really on top of communicating with me and helping me get this thing running. So hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully we can benefit during the winters for this. One other note was that the defrost does not stay on. I think there's another wire that you can tap into that to do that. So you turn the defrost on once the car goes off. Once you start it up again with the remote start, it doesn't turn on. So unfortunately, but at least the front one does. And if you get the heat going in the car, some of that ice off the back window should fall off. So it's been nice. It's November here in Minnesota, and I'm glad I was able to be out here doing this before it got too cold. The winter wheels and stuff will go on here pretty soon. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you got any questions, let me know and I'll see what I can answer and help you guys out.